Swank 65. 30 miles, 5,000 feet of elevation gain, and some ripping descents that bring the chunder and the finale of the Triple Crown Hardcore series. It's also the only race in the series I have yet to finish. Last year I got a spider bite and that was a whole ordeal. But this year I decided shaving my legs and wearing spandex wasn't weird enough that I would also do that with another grown man while lying on the ground. But I shall return and I will complete it next year. But for now, you are going to get a treat. This is the year of Keith. He trained his butt off to compete in the Pisgah stage race and to do the hardcore series that started with Woods Mountain, then tackled ORAM, and now Swank 65. Keith is actually in the freaking lead for the first time ever and could potentially win the series as a whole. If you haven't watched previous videos, Keith is one of my best friends and the owner of Blood, Sweat Gears. Definitely the best bicycle shop in the US, coming from a completely biased opinion. So without further ado, let's get to Brevard and hand out some bottles. I have honestly turned down numerous inquiries into sponsoring some of my videos because it's products that I just don't use, but whenever Bob and Brad contacted me and said, hey, we'll send you a free product and pay you to do an ad, will you do one for us? I was like, dude, I already have a product. If you need something to help you recover really well, these massage guns work freaking miracles. But their newest product is called the Air 2 Mini Massager, and it is their answer to the Theragun Mini. This portable little beast is perfect for anything that involves travel, and I'm going to love being able to keep this thing in my race bag. It is the first minigun under $100 with 12mm amplitude motor for deep muscle relief. It does come with 5 interchangeable heads and offers continuous use of 2 to 4 hours per charge. It also comes with a nifty carrying case. Yes, they did sponsor this video, but even before that I was recommending their product as the best bang for the buck, reliable massage gun that I have used. So if you were looking, give them a try. Discount code below as well, save you 10% off this already low-priced machine. Swank 65 was said to be named that because only 65 people could finish the inaugural edition. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it does make for a good rumor. The course isn't necessarily on the same level of difficulty as ORAM because ORAM is 60 miles with 10,000 feet of climbing, but what it lacks in mileage, it makes up for in technical trail with descents on Avery, Bennett, Black, Sycamore. It was the perfect temperature at the start line as everyone awaited go time.
Maybe a big drop or something like that. Something's kind of dangerous. Or
ladies and gentlemen, 15 seconds. 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hang on it. This is the Swank.
That sucks. At the first bottle handoff, Keith was like close to 40th position overall. The start of these races are always super chaotic, so the key is to not panic and overdo it in the first 10 miles. But when Keith hit Avery, that's when he started to pick up some places. This is when the GoPro picks up. The GoPro can only last for about an hour, 20, hour and a half, so he started it on the climb leading up to Avery, so we captured Avery, Bennett, and then I did a lot of running. I wouldn't necessarily say that Avery is harder than Bennett, or I know it's not harder than Bennett, but it's just unrelenting. But Keith has been training really hard up in the mountains, so he's gotten very good at these style of descents. This is where he started picking up a lot of places.
Well, I knew when I hit Avery Road and I was 3 minutes ahead just on Sycamore, which is a 23-minute effort, you know, that I should not go as hard as I was going, like there. I mean, I think I metered myself pretty well. When I started hurting was just that last, like, mile on Black. I probably should have ate some more, is my guess.
thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, wherever it's convenient, man. It doesn't even do this trail justice for the amount of rocks and how much bouncing around you're doing on here. I know I passed some people at the bottom of this too. I catch 2 or 3 right at the very bottom where the little bit of hike-a-bike is. But I think it's wild, like last year, this is the same trail I started catching all the people on too. And that's way worse than it looks. I mean, that's like bust your ass. And usually it's super wet.
Kind of looks like the bottom.
It's in a river, like the river's right there to the left.
Got it. Good job. Turn on the GoPro.
Good job.
Thank you. Pop out on the gravel, start heading towards Bennett, and people are just strewn everywhere. This is just a simple gravel climb, really not that difficult. You're gonna turn left to the official start of Bennett.
Good job, man.
More people walk sections of Bennett than ride them. There are some very technical things on Bennett, and I would definitely say if you are unsure of a feature, in a race is not the time to try it out.
I have to keep telling myself coming through that just to stay back on the bike and let it roll, because I've walked it many a times. And then, yeah, this is that section, so I just got off my bike here and that guy caught up to me. And I've ridden the right side once before. It was in a race. This is steeper, way steeper than it looks. Like, this is pretty steep. Well, I guess he was still kind of with me when we came down through the rock garden, because there were 2 girls out there saying how the only people that rode it were like the first group, that everybody else walked it, which made me feel much better about myself.
Hey, everybody's walking it. They're like...
This comes to the section that I rode it clean this time, but this is like probably a 50-50 for me coming down through here. This is that stair step section, and I think I had the mental fortitude to ride it because I knew I was dropping that guy. And I had ridden it when I was up there when I camped. I had ridden all this, so I knew I could ride it on this bike, and I could hear that guy behind me there, and then once I got through here, I never saw him again. That's all those stair steps. You can barely see them with those leaves. I mean, there's probably not a one of those under 2 foot. Just back-to-back drops.
good, Casey? Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So by the time Keith ended up at the bottom of Bennett, he had already picked up like 10 spots. I know at this point it's hard to tell, but he was in the top 20s-ish. I'm not 100% sure the guy's name that is right in front of Keith after the bottom of Bennett, but that's who he has been chasing all day. Gave him a good carrot to chase after because this dude was a phenomenal climber. I mean, if you kind of look at him, he is built like a climber. He looks like he weighs about 120 pounds, and Keith would catch him on the descents, but the dude would smoke him uphill. So going back up towards the finish and then coming down black for the final time, Keith thought he could catch him coming down black, but there's a log down that Ryan, the race promoter, did warn everyone about before the race started, but at this point in the race, you know, your mind is kind of going blank, and Keith forgot about it, laid the bike down, crashed, jammed his thumb. Didn't lose a lot of time, but when he came across the line, that dude had only beat him by about 11 seconds, so that was a little disheartening. It was a close race. And Keith shaved off a whopping 10 minutes from his time the previous year. That is huge. And that leads me to his placement. He came 4th on the day, barely missed the podium, but that allowed him to win 1st overall in the series on the top step. And to cap it all off, what Ryan did was anybody that had, I think it was on the podium for the series, it might have been just the winners of each category. Completely correct me down in the comments, but what he did was he had like 4 sets of wheels, he had like 3 forks, it was redemption codes from these companies, so you pull your name out of the hat, and if you got lucky, you were getting a new set of wheels or a $1,200 Fox fork and all this other stuff that was super cool. That's really cool to do something like that, especially when some of the years that I've done it, you get a cup, and that's it.
Alright, find another name.
Look, everybody's like, there's not many names in here, so everybody's going to get something, I think. Keith Eisenberg.
So to summarize it, this is the year of Keith. This is probably his best year that he's had on the mountain bike, doing the Pisgah stage race, doing this hardcore series, and doing well at them. Super proud of him. He came home with a brand new fork for doing this series, so that it paid for itself, which is cool. So you will see me back racing my bicycle. Short track's coming up. You know, I always kick the season off with that, and then we'll start training for ORAM. I mean, I'm gonna do a lot more cross-country racing next year. Got some announcements, got some updates, but I'll see you all in the next one. Love ya. Bye.